What's going on, Replo? It's your boy back at it again with another video. And today we're going to talk about structuring a funnel. Now, this is a very critical exercise that I think you should think about if you are running ads, even if you're not running ads and you're about to start. Just however you're, getting traffic to your site. If you haven't really thought about your funnel, it's really critical to think. Just take a second to diagram it. Get a sheet of paper out, maybe a little board like this. This is just a Figma board, and it just kind of map out exactly how people move through your business and become customers, and what happens after they become a customer. And the reason why I like doing this exercise is it forces you to think very critically about how customers actually interact with your business and your brand. From the ad to the landing pages you send them to all the different email touch points and SMS touch points, and what happens at checkout, post-purchase, so on and so forth. The more you do this exercise and the deeper you get with each version of this exercise, the better you just understand your customer and the experience they actually have. And then you can take that empathy and that data, you can actually, layer in, data from heat mapping software like Microsoft Clarity, Heat Map, or Hotjar, for example. You can add that additional data on top of just all the different funnel steps you might pull from Shopify or from Google Analytics, for example, and start making more informed decisions on how you improve each of those touch points. This is, conversion rate optimization, making those little tweaks to the landing page to match your ad, and then making those similar tweaks to your email content for that specific funnel, so that you're improving your conversion rate overall, and ultimately just giving customers a better experience and providing more revenue and profit for your business. So I feel like I've properly seasoned the stage, kind of set things up nicely, and now we're going to jump right in. And I'm just going to start drawing, actually. So one of the first things I like to do is you can kind of go at it a couple different ways. I think it's really easy to just start pulling in what's step one, right? So the step one is let's see, Facebook ad. All right, so customer sees a Facebook ad. Great. And then from there, they go to, we're going to do rounded rectangle landing page. Great, cool. And then from there, they go to, let's say we'll do diamonds for checkout. We'll go back to rounded post-purchase page. And maybe we'll color code a little bit differently. So for this, we'll do blue. For this, we'll do black. Replo's colors are black. For checkout, we'll do green for money. And then for post-purchase, we're going to just go back to black just to keep the page consistent. And we'll say it's a Replo landing page, just for the sake of fun. Okay, so high level, we've mapped out just a very simple journey. Let's see. Order confirmation. And we'll get to post-purchase later. And we'll do square for this instead. But keep the color the same. It starts out pretty simply. This is the Facebook ad that you put out. And then from there, they go to a landing page. Let's say it is a advertorial. Or actually, let's go along the rock page. It's a simple funnel. And they go to checkout, order confirmation. So pretty straightforward experience, right? Customer sees a Facebook ad, they click in, they go to a landing page that has all of the content, selling that specific offer on a long form landing page. That, they hit the button to buy now, they go to the checkout, and then they go to the order confirmation after that. Cool, great. Now we have baseline understanding. Now, what else goes into it? What's the context? Here, this is where it's where you could pull in, ad angles. You can put in audiences, creative types, creative angles, hooks, etc. UGC creators. There's so many different things that you can kind of break down at each level here. And then you can go on the landing page. You could do landing page headline. Next, you can match that to your ad. You could do the different LP sections, all the different sections you can have. You can try to like understand like, okay, what are all the different sections that I need to have that are nice to have in order for me to effectively communicate what my offer is and the value that it provides to the customer. LP content in general, offer, products, etc. Checkout page, we're going to just assume this is just pretty standard Shopify stuff. Shopify or a Shopify one page. And then there's some things you can do depending on if you're on Shopify Plus, even if you're not, just like adding social proof, upsells, cross sells. What else can you do? Reviews, which I guess kind of goes into social proof a bit, but you kind of delineate there. So on and so forth. And then your order confirmation, you can have things like, let's say, estimated shipping, post-purchase surveys, SMS opt-in, things of that nature. Okay, cool. So now we're starting to like look at all the different elements that go into each of these pieces, which is a great next thing to understand. Like when I look at it from the ad level, like what am I trying to communicate to the customer? What are the audiences that this might be going to? Even if you're running broad targeting, and you can say the creative is doing the targeting, you can still kind of conceptualize like, I know this is the kind of person that I think is going to resonate with this. And then you can, after the ads get some spend behind them, you can use audience insights to actually start pulling back and seeing the actual audiences that are resonating with your ads. And then if you have any sort of attribution tools or any other tools to help you dig further into that data, you can see the ones that are performing the best as well. On the landing page side, simple stuff like, is the content in the landing page mapping to what you say in your ad, right? So that's like how it's tied together, but it's also still content that's unique to the landing page. The different sections, content types, etc. The offer, does that the offer makes sense for the ad, for the audience that's being attracted in the ad, so on and so forth. And then check out like, making sure that overall you make people feel the warm fuzzies. Obviously you're kind of tied into the Shopify checkout to begin with, but there are things that you can do to kind of improve that experience, making sure it's on brand. And then, finding other ways to get creative and providing a little bit more of a robust experience. And if you're on Shopify Plus, you can take that even further. And then lastly, on the order confirmation page, just little things to reassure the customer that they did the right thing. Estimated shipping, post-purchase surveys, either through fairing or through no. SMS opt-in if they didn't opt in on the checkout page, so on and so forth. A lot of cool things you can do there. That's just getting started. This is scratching the surface. Now, what do you do from here? Now, this is part where you think, okay, like, I know you can start to layer in data, right? So here you can say, I'm going to go purple. Purple's my favorite color. And we're going to go with the big old thing. So let's say you've got a 2%. Let's try this again. You got a 2% conversion rate on your ads. I'm going to try that 2 again because it looks so bad. 2. Oh, yeah. All right. You got 2% conversion rate on your ads. You got a baseline of 1.5% conversion rate on your landing page. Let's just say that holds through checkout essentially. And then you got money. Boom. Incredible. Okay, cool. So these are some baseline stats. Now you can start playing with some more assumptions. Like what happens if you have 10,000 people go through this? Like they feed into this, right? So now you can say, okay, 10,000 people out of that, 2% of that, so move the decimal point over, it's 100 people. So 1.5% of 100 people, let's say for the sake of math, it just rounds out to 2 people. Boom. And then your average order value, this is where we can say, let's go back to purple and say OV of, call it $80. Real top quality drawing over here. 2 people, $80. Boom, spitting out times 80. Is my math even right here? We'll see. Equals $160. Amazing. Now let's say we go further back in the funnel and say it costs us $100 to get the 10,000 eyeballs. that puts us through this. Now, I'm going to check my math to make sure. I'm recording this really late at night. Been at this for a while, so I'm going to make sure that I'm not being a dumbo here. It's so stupid. It's not. I'm so dumb. I can't. This is what happens when you don't sleep. It's very important that you sleep. This is 200. I can't do math. Goodness gracious. How funny. 200. Now we can apply to. This is funny. I can't wait to edit this. I'm actually not going to edit this. I'm going to leave this in like this. You guys all just watch me fail so miserably at math. As they say on My First Million, we don't do live math. So we'll do 200 times 0.015. So that actually equals three sales at $80. So this is actually $240. Okay. That's actually kind of fun. That's exciting. All right. So now we're starting to build like a deeper, richer picture of what this funnel looks like. And you're starting to understand like what all the different levers are. Okay, if I'm able to see exactly how this starts to come together, right? You can see, okay, I put in $100, I got 240 out, basically like a 2.4 ROAS, if you will. You can see that, okay, if I were to improve my conversion rate on my ads from 2 to 2.2, that takes it to 220 people. And then if we were to take, let's say we were to improve the landing page from 1.5 to call it 2. So we got 220 times 1.5%, or actually let's go to 2% rather. So it's 4.4 sales times 80 average order value. We take this up to $350 or so, right? And then you're like, okay, like now you have a really clear goal. You can look at some of the pieces of your ads that are working or the ads that are working that have a high CTR, click-through rate. And then you can say, okay, I need to do these things. Like, I think these are the reasons why it's resonating really well. And I'm going to recreate a new version of the ad that kind of takes advantage of that and does one other thing to improve it or to test a hypothesis on what could improve that click-through rate. Same thing on the landing page. You got your conversion rate, 1.5% is your baseline. How do you take it to 2? Do you tweak something in your offer? Do you adjust something in your headline? We've got a whole thing on the different steps you should do from a testing basis to improve and iterate. But, there's so many different things you can do, right? And you can start chipping away there. And then getting to checkout and order confirmation. That's just starting, right? This is just giving you a baseline of it. But at the end of the day, this is pretty much every single funnel, right? You've got some sort of traffic source that's going to some sort of landing page on your site to checkout and then to an order confirmation. And then there's a bunch of stuff that can happen before or after, right? So, this could be your PDP even. Like, this could be an email that you send to an audience. This could be to existing customers and you're trying to reactivate them, what have you. Order confirmation, you might have an additional upsell within that page. You might have a bunch of post-purchase, so on and so forth, right? Like, there's a lot of different things you can do. We talked about possibly doing post-purchase or like in-cart upsells rather, in the checkout stage. That could improve your AOV. All of these different levers you can start to pull. And that's still, we're just getting maybe, 40% of the way deep, right? Because once you send someone to the landing page, maybe you capture the email, you've got an exit intent pop-up, or you've got a pop-up that shows up after a certain amount of time. Maybe your landing page has like an embed where you can capture an email or an SMS or both, whatever the case may be. And then you can start building out very beautiful follow-up funnels to support whatever product, offer, benefit, problem, solution statement that you have, right? You can start to build all of those out and contextualize it to the funnel, this specific funnel. Like, if you're selling supplements to improve people's bloating, and let's be even more specific, let's say you're selling supplements to improve bloating for women between the ages of 35 and 55. The most granular we can get, but still fairly granular. Then you can map every piece of this to that, right? You can map the Facebook ads. All the content can be related to that. The UGC creators are using it within that demo. The way you're speaking is exactly how those folks speak, etc. All the landing page content, the way it's structured, stuff as seemingly innocuous as like the font size. I mean, that could affect it, right? We may need to make the font size bigger, and that might help with conversion rates. all of these things, right? On the checkout page, maybe for the younger demos, you were going to upsell or cross-sell some sort of blender bottle, but maybe in this other case, the supplement, you're actually better off selling like a habit tracking, like one of those pill, like day of the week pill cases or something to that effect. Like there's so many different ways you kind of structure this, but you can contextualize all of that. The funnel that you're building, that you've structured here, you can contextualize all of that to, the target demo or the target audience you're trying to go after. So you can kind of start just by building the funnel and then figuring out who would best fit into that and map, kind of an iterative process that way. Or you can start with the audience, the ideal end customer, your ICP, ideal customer profile, if you will, and then build out your funnel that way. Regardless of where you are in your journey, I think it's very important that you do go through the exercise of structuring your funnel. Very, very, very critical. And just be diligent about it. Just run this exercise on a regular basis, even as just a gut check. Like think through, okay, like where are our biggest opportunities? And if it's not you on your team, have someone either at your agency or someone on your marketing team, whoever's in charge of this stuff. Make sure that they're doing this on a regular basis, just so everything's staying fresh, it's staying live, things are getting iterated upon. The best, fastest growing brands that we see more often than not are doing this. And depending on how quickly they're scaling, they might be doing it on a daily basis, but usually they're doing it on a week-to-week basis. And it's a good exercise to run. If you've got one funnel that's really, really cranking, then you definitely want to be doing every single thing that you can to optimize it. So that's, structuring a funnel. Gives you a quick overview on some of the different things that you should look at, how you can look at it, different layers. We'll definitely go deeper into this as we go on. And I hope you learned something. And if all you learned from this is that I'm really bad at doing math in my head really late at night, then so be it. But for all else, I hope you got some real tactical knowledge out of this. So take care.